This story was written in a book of stories of the Rebbe, and it starts off about this is after the Holocaust. A lot of Jews were like really broken, and they came to America. There were couples also. There were couples that got married. The people went through the Holocaust. They got married in America, right? They met each other. Anyway, there's a fellow, according to the story, his name was Moshe Feiner, a Jew. And he was a regular, normal, Jew. Maybe it could have been he was a little bit religious. In any case, maybe he was a lot religious, but he had no connection with Chabad or with the Rebbe. And he heard these stories, and it just, totally did not excite him, if you want to call it. And he just thought the whole thing was ridiculous. People going to a Rebbe, they're just clutching at straws. Come on, live your life, be, meet life like with courage and such. What do you have to go to a Rebbe? Anyway, his wife got sick. So his wife got sick, and they went to doctors. He made a lot of money. I guess when he was in America, he became a fairly well-off person. Anyway, maybe rich. And so they went around the whole world to find a cure for his wife's disease, and they couldn't find the cure. She just kept getting worse and worse. So someone told her, "Why don't you go to see the Lubavitcher Rebbe?" So she said to her husband, "Come on, let's go to the Rebbe." Come on, what the good is it going to do? He's a doctor. What does he know? So they went to it ended up his wife badgered him. In any case, they didn't have any other choice. They went through all the doctors and everything, and everybody said there was no cure. So they went to the Rebbe. The guy, and when he went to the Rebbe, he said he was very, very impressed. Very, very impressed. He said, maybe here there's hope. He felt this is something different. This is something. So he said to the Rebbe, my wife is sick, and we're Holocaust survivors. And we've been through so much, and now it just doesn't seem fair. Why should my wife be ill? Why should she be sick? Why should she suffer? And the Rebbe said, "Oh, you went through the Holocaust?" And he said, "Yes, I did." So the Rebbe said, "Well, what would you say if we exchanged, instead of your wife being sick and some Nazi being well, we just exchange it, that your wife should be well and that Nazi should be sick? What do you say?" So he said, I agree 100%. So the Rebbe said, okay, that's what it'll be. The wife will be. And sure enough, afterwards, his wife got better. Sure enough, his wife miraculously got better. Now I heard from someone a continuation of the story. I've been writing stories and sending them out to people for over 20 years already. So I have a lot of stories. So a lot of them I forgot where I got the story from, or got lost. It's not really right. Anyway, so I read that either they themselves went back to the town where they were, or someone wanted to check this thing out, and that they went back to the town where they were, and that there was a doctor that was there that had been a Nazi. This is only 5-10 years after the war. So there were, and he was a well-known anti-Semite, and people didn't. He was pretty much outspoken, even though that was a bit unusual in Germany after the war. It was very unusual for a person to express any. But this person wasn't hesitant about it. And they went, so someone went back and they found that this doctor had died. And they checked out the date, and the date that he died was on the same date that the Rebbe said that this woman they would exchange. Since then, I heard different versions of the story itself. That the Rebbe said there's a doctor in your town, he was a Nazi. What if you exchange for that your disease, that he should get your disease, and that you should get his health or something? In any case, they went and they checked it out, and they discovered that this man passed away on the same day. Okay, all of that I said, the last part of the story is, moot. I don't remember, where the source of that was. But the source of the story that the Rebbe said will exchange her disease we'll give it to some Nazi. And this is true. And sure enough, the woman got better. So if that was the reason she got better, right, according to my second version, that was proven. But according to the first version, it, something miraculously made her better. And it was immediately after the Rebbe said it. So we can pretty much suppose that somehow or other the Rebbe had this ability to heal people in this totally incomprehensible way. And this story maybe is a little more understandable than a lot of the other stories that are told. And I know people personally that had growths and that had this, and they went into they were ready for the operation, and the Rebbe said, "Don't make it," and the doctor got all angry, and they made an X-ray, and the disease went away, the tumor went away, whatever it was. And that you can't explain. Here, at least you can explain it a little bit, right? There was an evil person, and the Rebbe took the good that this person didn't deserve. He gave it to this lady, and he gave it the disease that she didn't deserve and gave it to him. So that's a little bit understandable. But nevertheless, the Rebbe is somehow or other calling the shots. Have a good day with Mashiach now, God willing. Tomorrow at 8:15, we'll meet again.
Oh, I wish I could meet the Rebbe right now.
You'll see, we'll see. Don't worry. Everything will be exactly the way it's supposed to be. Shalom.